easily. And now the Void Rays are here. They're going to be called home. And Siege Tanks also, which it looks like he's going to drop it right in the middle of the line. And Void Ray there, first Void Ray there already. And it looks like he's just going straight for the medevac, trying to get the medevac out. Yes, straight for the medevac. Now he's going to take these Marauders out. So he wanted to make sure he got all of those kills, even if it cost him some drones. Or some probes rather, and it looks like his second Nexus is up, which is actually in his main, his pseudo main, and he's also got this target here producing nothing, which the Void Rays are still at the enemy base. They're taking out Vikings, it looks like, but it looks like they have taken a few hits, especially this one here with only 38 HP left, and these Marauders have been neutralized. So now also a Twilight Council in, which it looks like the Marauders are actually moving around the second base, taking out Zealots. Why is he even sending the Zealots after them? I would expect more from Hasu, which it looks like he's just using them as cannon fodder to keep his Sentry or Stalker alive, and boxing them in with the Sentry now, and those Zealots taking them apart. So a lot going on now. First Siege Tank out for GoOdy, and GoOdy will be able to put them into these medevacs and bring them up on these ridge with Marine support. But it looks like there are Phoenix here, and Phoenix guarding this race is going to be a great deterrent for medevac, because he is going to be able to pick these off relatively quickly. But there are Vikings, so the Vikings can protect these medevacs and can ensure a safe landing, and that will be enough right there with the Vikings to definitely keep the Void Rays off their backs. And the only other thing that Hasu could do is spawn Zealots up here, or Stalkers. And it looks like Siege Tank is going to land, and he does have these Vikings here guarding along with the Marines. Marines moving forward, trying to take out this pylon. This pylon will shut down both of his gateways if it does go out. He does have a single auxiliary one back here, but he's just going to be able to easily move these probes back, and all this really does is take out his gas income. So what we do see now from Hasu is a great game changer here. We've got the Templar Archives coming in, allowing him to call in High Templars, and eventually we should see Psystorm. And he's also got Zealot legs, about 3/4 stun, so he will be able to drop in places like this, where he will be able to move quickly and finally counter that concussive shells ability. But it looks like he's going to go for the strategy of calling GoOdy home, which GoOdy does have Marines at his base, so it should be enough to defend. And he's going to pick 2 workers. Let's see if he can get a third worker. Marines finally moving down. 4th worker. He's doing a pretty good amount of damage here. 5th worker, calling those Marines down, and it looks like he's going to get out of there. So now we're seeing GoOdy sitting here with nothing. He's finally sieging up, and it looks like he's going to be able to take out that extra gateway, getting a single probe, and he's going to be able to take out this gas. But what we're seeing here that's very important is up here on the income tab. They are about even because Hasu has a higher amount of harvesters, but GoOdy does have both of these bases, even though they are under the harass, and this one is almost mined out. He's still bringing in more, simply because he was able to maintain that expansion. So it looks like Hasu just moving through GoOdy's base now, picking off workers like nothing, and 2 Vikings out now, which I'm not sure that'll be enough to counter the Phoenix, and it looks like neither one of them have upgrades. So 7 kills on that Phoenix, very good for a drone harass on a single Phoenix. So it looks like he's going to fly right over the Marines and losing that hero there. So it looks like now he's bringing in more gateways. It looks like he's going to try and build up that ground force again, because he does have Zealots, and it looks like he did take out a small drop there, so nothing to be really worried about. GoOdy did try and take out a few units, but he was ultimately unsuccessful, and Psystorm is finally done. So we should be seeing some High Templars being warped in now, and High Templars absolutely great against this Terran infantry. There's no better counter than High Templar as far as Protoss is concerned. So it looks like we're seeing another expansion now for Hasu up in the top left, and that'll allow him to take an extreme economic advantage, because once he is eventually able to secure this, he will be able to take it out. And now we do have more stuff coming in for the High Templars. We do have this upgrade, the Qadirian Amulet, which is obscurely placed on their foreheads, which allows them to get more energy. So it looks like that is about halfway done, and that will be great because he will be able to storm as soon as he brings these units in, and he's bringing in another gateway. So it looks like he's going to transition from heavy air to heavy ground, and it looks like we're seeing Cloak from GoOdy. So it looks like he's going to go Banshee. So Banshee, I really do not agree with that, because these Void Rays are still here, still able to take out Banshee like they're nothing, and these High Templars also will have a minimized effect, but still there should be a great effect on the Banshees. And it looks like more Stalkers coming in now, and a great accumulation of forces here by GoOdy. But GoOdy, it's kind of all for nothing. He's not really doing much damage here. He's just preventing this. And it is very valuable that he's done this, but it looks like we have a lot of probes heading out now, which it looks like that's going to be 12 probes heading out to this expansion where he does have another gateway in. So the good thing about this warp gate upgrade is that he will be able to bring units in from here all over the map where he has pylon coverage. And it looks like we're seeing a counter expansion for GoOdy. So GoOdy will be able to, I don't know, this economic game is kind of evening out. Let's take a look at income. GoOdy is actually falling behind now because his main is pretty much mined out. We can call that mined out. There's just a little bit left there. So, GoOdy now taking a lot of SCVs down here, and he needs this expansion badly, which it looks like GoOdy is going to move out. So GoOdy attempting to do some damage here. He's got these High Templar lagging behind. He's got to let them catch up. He definitely needs that, and GoOdy is out of his base with these Vikings, so the air support of GoOdy will do a great job attacking these units, and it looks like siege tanks now are going to be enough to deter this. They should be. There's quite a few of them up here. I'm counting 5 sieged, 6-1 unsieged, and it looks like the Void Raider is going to try and move forward, but be killed almost by these missile turrets. And it looks like Vikings coming in now, trying to defend, and it looks like these Void Rays could do a lot of damage here if they could snipe this tank right here, but it looks like there's quite a few missile turrets. So now we're seeing another robotics facility, so possible Colossus in the future, and it looks like this Banshee is moving out and shutting out his main completely, and it looks like he has no defense for it because he has no detection. This is very bad, and he needs to either get a cannon up or call in an observer right away, which he is not calling in an observer. He is not building a cannon, so he's absolutely no way to see this. This is very bad for him. He's just got to basically wait until that cloak runs up and hope he can snipe these units. So it looks like GoOdy has discovered this expansion, and it looks like he's going to try this Marauder drop, picking them up, good timing, and he did actually take out this Nexus. So GoOdy left with absolutely no income as far as I'm concerned. 200 minerals is nothing, especially at this stage in the game. Sending out a lot more probes here, but it looks like it's going to be to no avail because this Nexus is not coming in yet. Let's take a look at production, and it looks like we're going to see a massive increase in production inside of GoOdy's base. Now that he does have this expansion, he should be getting it up and running soon, and definitely needs to send out some of these. He does have these upgrades coming in for ground weapons, which with this massive amount of siege tanks, he will be able to push, and he does have these Thors now, so Thors will be able to absolutely counter these warriors. And it looks like, even though he was kind of a dick in the beginning, he is going to be able to take the win for this. So now we're seeing these two factories. They need these tech labs to be able to produce Thors, but he does not have this up and running yet. So once he gets this up and running, we should be seeing Thors coming in. As far as gas and mules now calling in, and it looks like GoOdy trying to push forward, and he's going to see this massive army here. Looks like he's going to try a side storm, but he's only going to get these Vikings with minimal effect, and he's going to catch maybe a few Marines there, but really nothing. GoOdy moving his siege tanks out in front of his force, kind of a good idea because he can move forward and siege up and then move the rest of his units behind. So it looks like he's going to siege up just to take out this pylon, about half of his siege tanks, and it looks like GoOdy really with nothing to counter this, but he does have these High Templars. High Templars can do a great amount of damage to these Marines if he can call in the storms on the Marines. Tanks sieging up, he is falling back. The Vikings doing a great amount of damage to his Void Rays, and it looks like he did manage to hit a few Marines and weaken the rest, and it looks like these High Templars are in great energy state, and he needs to bring in more units though if he wants to be able to defend this, especially this base here where he is depending on for his economic lead, or not lead, but his economic sustenance. And now Vikings landing and going to be able to take this out because there are no Void Rays coming in, but it looks like GoOdy is moving in on the back of this army, picking off a few siege tanks with absolutely nothing to defend them, and it looks like he's going to move up in here. He may be able to fend this army off, but it all depends on micro. Great size storms coming in on top of the Vikings not in the air, but it looks like there's no Void Rays to support. Lots of High Templar with very little support, but they are going to be able to take this out. Great play there, even though he did hit a few of his own zealots with that. But what we're seeing here that's absolutely devastating, even though this great play is being done by GoOdy, this micro, his macro is suffering. His production is a single probe, and he is bringing in 3 zealots now. But it looks like he's only going to have enough money to fund zealots. He does have a lot of gas, but his mineral income is very, very bad. Sending more probes out to this top left expansion, which he needs to get this up and running. And my criticism for GoOdy is he's been sitting on this for a long time. He does not need this many SCVs. They look like a pack of wild animals just running in circles there. So here we go. He's got mules, but not enough SCVs to get gas running. You need 3 and 3, so a total of 6 SCVs are needed to run gas, and it looks like he actually does have that. I made myself look like an idiot. So he will be able to get this up and running in just about a second, and that will be able to fund Thors pretty well. And it looks like he does have these tanks kind of blocking off the choke point right here to his base, and I'm surprised GoOdy has not gone for any high yield, because it looks like he's going for a short-term win, but he is allowing GoOdy to recover, so he does need to get this this harassment on, even though he does have twice as many harvesters and expanding. He needs to get that harassment on, and he needs to hold GoOdy down, and he definitely needs to get all these guys out of here. It looks like the riots in Greece. It looks like they need a better economy there, less socialism. So Looks like he's getting Hellions now. Hellions will be great for Zealots. And also, more tanks coming out. More tanks will also be great for countering Zealots. And he's not going for Banshees, even though we do see Jesus with an extremely heavy build placed on Zealots as far as defense. And lots of High Templar getting split away from his main force. This could be very bad if GoOdy rolled up in here and took these guys out, popped a cap in him. But it looks like he's not going to roll up in there. He's going to roll up in here with Marines in this dropship, dropping him out, and it looks like he is going to do minimal damage before being taken out, because this is completely mined out. You can tell by all those black splotches there. So we do see nothing happening as far as his production, bringing in more High Templars. It looks like he's getting ready to be owned right here. Lots of Hellions coming in. Hellions will be able to counter those High Templars, and it looks like he's definitely not going to be able to defend this. Bringing in a Storm, but the Storm is not going to be enough against this army. I'm not sure about the composition, though. The Hellions are good counters, but he does have a lot of Stalkers here, which Stalkers should do good against Hellion. And it looks like he's canceling this expansion, which this is what would have won it for Jesus. And the income divide is just too much, especially with map control going to GoOdy, and another expansion coming down. And another one, looks like he's actually going to drop these units to try and bring their harass up in here, which as soon as this expansion goes down, it is GG for Jesus. Which Jesus holding a minimal amount of forces, which I would say the same for GoOdy since they're all Hellions, but it looks like only 3 High Templars are going to be here to defend his main. He's been moved into the back by a distractionary drop, and it looks like he's going to call in Storm, not even sieging up. GoOdy doing a great job of just kind of just going straight at these Marauders, but I do not like his micro. Very bad micro. Looks like he's going to lose a lot of tanks to those High Templars, but the High Templars are dead. Let's take a look at production. 0 income for Jesus. Very bad. And they are sieging now. But it looks like these Stalkers are going to move in on them, getting really closer. So this tank will damage this tank, and this tank will not be able to target these guys. But Jesus seeing he has no forces and calling it GG. So hopefully more commentaries coming soon, guys. This was a very good game. It was almost an epic comeback, but it was not. So I'll see you guys later.